We really think about legacy modernisation in two parts at ITV. I think the first part is our kind of war on legacy, which is about ITV making sure that its architecture is on supported infrastructure, that we're using the right infrastructure. We've seen recently the cloud be able to do a lot more than it's been able to do, since ever really. And we also want to make sure that our team, our stuff in data centers and around, is on supported tech. Last year we saw Windows 2003, Windows 7 go out of support. We want to make sure that our infrastructure works there, and that's really the core of our legacy modernization. Is about making sure that our systems work on their infrastructure. But beyond that, it's about making sure that our products are okay for regulational change. They're okay for the business. We want to make sure that we've got the right systems located in the right place, be it the cloud or on premise or somewhere else, to do the job they need. So that's one part, the kind of the war on legacy. The second part is digital transformation, which is more about the people, the processes. What does the business need? And we need to make sure that people can get access to the data they need to straight away, that they can do their work as quickly as possible straight away, and things that might have taken days or months in the past can be done instantly by using innovative tools that are coming out there. So really, for me, legacy modernisation at ITV is those two bits: war on legacy and digital transformation. In terms of an example, I think you asked for an example. Recently, as part of the pandemic, we found out that one of our teams was relying on Google Sheets and Excel spreadsheets and Access databases to get data together to bring our group risk reporting together. We realised that we really shouldn't be taking days and weeks and months to do that, and we need to do it straight away. So we had to look around for a new way of doing it. Actually, we settled on Zoho, and we'll talk more about that particular product later. But it was really, we delivered a product that could really do these things and deliver this data in hours rather than days. And that's really what digital transformation, legacy modernisation is all about at ITV. For me, legacy modernisation is about the platform and the technology and the product itself. And digital transformation is about people and processes and outcomes and what the business wants to get to it. And I think that in IT, the way we've approached this is that we've got and I alluded to this earlier, we've got this war on legacy program. And this is really about making sure that our platform is fit for purpose, that it's the right platform, that it's supported, that it's using the right technology, be it cloud or something different, software as a service or on-premise or whatever, and making sure that we're regulatory performing. But those things are different to what a user expects from the product. And I think what the user expects and what the business needs is about our digital transformation. And that's really about people. What do they need to do today? And is there a better way of doing it? Is there a different system or workflow that we could use to get the outcomes that we need? And that's what digital transformation is about for us. So there are those two things. And I'm not saying they're always separate things. They blend together all the time. Using different technology is important, but that's how we separate them. And I think for us, again, what we've learned actually is, the digital transformation program is about the way people work, and that's lend on the legacy modernisation. And what we've learned in the pandemic is that getting the legacy modernisation right, choosing the right platform for your product, can determine multiple outcomes for the digital transformation program. So we started using Creator a couple of years ago for our development business. So ITV is an international business. We've got offices all around the world, like America, Nordics, Australia, everywhere. And they're all developing shows. And what I mean by developing shows is they're coming up with ideas of TV shows that could be commissioned and made into real things, real TV shows to go on different channels around the world. We found that these teams operating in different territory were using all sorts of different tools to keep track of their development. There was no kind of common data set. There was no way of gathering data from different people to work out what was being developed where. And often teams would kind of work between themselves, in different territories to try and hand over different development ideas to different teams to see if they would work in different territories. Now, it didn't really work. We had data on spreadsheets, on Google Sheets. We had data in Access database in people's heads, in emails, data all over the place. So the central development team were unable to really understand what the true story was at ITV. How many ideas did we have? What was the real value of our American office or our Nordics office or our London office? What were they really coming up with? We didn't have that. So we brought the data together in Creator, and we chose Creator because actually we had a really great SI in A to Z who helped us. But we chose them because of the low-code part of the system. We knew that we needed a bespoke product for ITV. We knew from a supplier assessment that we couldn't take off the shelf the development product, that we couldn't take off the shelf a developed product that would work for ITV. We knew we were going to have to do some level of development, but we don't have loads of developers, and we don't have loads of money to pay for any developers to develop just this service. So we looked around, we learned a bit about low code. We felt comfortable that we could learn the ropes with building our own thing in Creator. We learned a lot on our supplier, A to Z. They were great with helping us build the system. And within a couple of months, we had a development system. Internally we called it Create. And it was great. For the first time, there was a common picture of what we were developing around the whole of ITV. Our managers had a dashboard. They could see what was being developed in a graphical interface in one click. That was actually an integration to analytics into Creator. But everyone was excited about it. And actually, we found that the users weren't disengaged because they'd lost their favorite spreadsheet or whatever that they wanted. Actually, they've been crying out for a common way of doing this and seeing the same data around the world. And that was kind of the start of our story. We did that. We went through version 1, then we modernized it to version 2, and now we're looking at version 3 there too. And these are just mild adjustments, but generally we started with that piece and we delivered real success really quickly. Then people in the business picked up about this product called Create that lived on the Zoho platform, and other people wanted to. So at the start of the pandemic, I talked about ITV not having its data necessarily in the right place that was easily accessible. Our group risk team and our production team found that when the pandemic started, they wanted a true picture of what ITV Studios as a production making business looked like. We didn't have that. Again, it was in spreadsheets in people's heads and email. We didn't have that. But it was assumed by our leaders. It was just in a dashboard. Hey, why can't we just look at the dashboard? They said. We didn't have it. We never built it. Perhaps it was on the list, but we'd never done it. So we needed it quick. Actually, our target was to get a dashboard that could give this information and give this data back to those people who needed to in 7 weeks. And because of low code, because of Zoho ease of use and the general minimum creator, we were able to do that. And we were able to start at the beginning actually confident that at the end of 7 weeks, we'd have something to give back to the guys. And we did. And now ITV's got, it's got its development system. It knows what ideas it's got and what could become production. And then it's got another system that shows it what's in production, what's in pre-production, what's in production, what's in post-production, what's on air tomorrow. That's all in Creator. What next in the ITV story? Well, if you've got what's coming through, why not start looking at your complete finished tape sales? Actually, what is ITV selling around the world and stuff as well? Why not give the business a view of the whole ITV picture? What's being developed, what's in studio, what's on air, what's doing well, what isn't, in one place. That's the future, and that's what we're looking at in the next few months. But the ITV story, is a really positive one for Creator. It's actually really important to our business. But the idea that we were able to start from scratch, get systems going quickly, make changes because of the ease of use of the low-code infrastructure in the background, have all led to a great story for ITV for using Creator. If we come back to our ITV Studios production product, so this is where we could see what was in studio, what was in pre-production, what was in production, what was in post-production. We were asked to deliver that this year during the lockdown. So we had a system up and running within 7 weeks. We had people trained on the system within 2 months of that date and using the system, and then it really started started delivering results, whereas people were able to start using the product in anger and have it as their day-to-day system. So I would say, really, because of low code, we're talking 16 weeks to start seeing results from the system.